laws are there, but it needs to follow through. That, yeah, the laws are in place, they're being enforced. 200,000 some tickets is a big deal, and that's the right thing. That's what needs to be happening. But when a driver kills another driver because they were on our cell phone, are they going to jail? Is it really being followed through? And from what I've seen, people aren't really being punished for the pain that's being caused.
So in one of the surveys, almost 30% of kids between the age of 18 or young adults between 18 and 29 admitted to texting while driving. Those are the ones that actually admitted. Kristen, I have to tell you, whenever I'm driving, and I drive constantly through my district and up and back and forth to Albany, the state capitol, when we're in session, everywhere I look, somebody's either on a cell phone or they're doing this. And Trooper, you could always tell when you're driving in the left lane, either on the Southern State Parkway, Meadowbrook, or even for myself on the thruway, when somebody all of a sudden is going 65 miles an hour and drops down to 40 miles an hour, you know what they did. They picked up the phone. What excuses are you hearing out there when you pull somebody over?
I was talking to JC about this.
I'm sure you've heard a lot of stories, right?
It ranges from,
Right.
outright admitting it and apologizing and accepting the ticket and saying, I'll never do it again, to, I don't know what you're talking about. When we see the cell phone and the person's still saying hello, hello, to the person we pulled over. So, some people, these are full-grown adults, they don't want to admit to their mistake. That's what we encounter every day.
Christian, I mean, what is it? You said before it was the way you were raised. I mean, I'm a parent of 3 kids. I got to question that. We always try to teach our kids, obviously, what's right and wrong. But this age of technology, I want to say more of an obsession. I mean, if I asked how many of you guys and the students that are in the audience actually have cell phones on, you'd probably all raise your hand and say you have it. I mean, how often do you put it down? Do you actually shut it off? Is it the obsession with technology?
I think it has to be. I don't think there's any other reason that would cause people to do something so dangerous. And I think it's also that every year that we grow up, there are more inventions, like newer things. So I think it's always on our minds. But it's not only kids, it's adults too. Like, I've witnessed parents texting and driving, so I think it's just the age that we're in, the age of technology.
You bring up a very important question that we always face as lawmakers, and I'm sure, Frank, we always talk about this in JC. Is it just the youth of today? There are some people that say if while you have, while you just received your license up to a certain age, if you have a violation, it should be taken away for a year. But it's not just the young kids of today that
I
are
mean,
out there.
where did they learn it from?
Right.
We emulate our parents more than anything else we do, and that's where these students are learning how to
You
drive.
came down today from White Plains. I'm sure when you look around, what do you see in a car?
People doing everything but driving. And I always say this is such a radical idea to think that when we're driving, we should only think about driving. Yeah, maybe it's radical. Maybe it's crazy. We shouldn't be drinking coffee and eating soup or anything else. Because when it comes down to it, it is radical because it's life or death. And that's what it is. It's life or death. And unfortunately, too many people are learning that the hard way.
So some car manufacturers are making new technology and developing new technology where when you get into a car, it will prohibit, texting. Even cell phone manufacturers are doing some things like that. Trooper, is that the answer? To just make sure your phone doesn't ring, you're unable to text? Is that the answer?
I'm okay with that.
I'm sure you are.
It's one life, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But if that's what it comes to, and the car makers think that it's going to make a difference, and it probably will, we're okay with that.
So you're a young student, you're graduating, you're in the prime of your life, you're going to go on to college, you have everything to look forward to, as JC does also, her upcoming marriage. But the last thing she expected when she graduated college was to be driving with her parents, and next time when she woke up to realize her parents were deceased. What is it going to take, Christian? What does it take for your peers, for us as adults, to not do this? Or do you say things when you see people doing it? Do you not get it? When you're driving in a car with somebody, do you say, give me your phone? What do you think it's going to really take to change the behavior of drivers, but behavior of individuals as a whole?
I think you have to focus on the behavior of everyone around you as well. So I think that's why this is really important, because you're getting your story out. and everyone here is realizing how terrible it is. So maybe if a couple of people in this room stop doing what they're doing, distracted driving, then maybe their friends will take notice, and then maybe they'll tell their parents, like, stop texting while driving, don't talk on the phone, and then hopefully it'll spread.
JC, in your experiences, have you seen a reluctance of states to change the laws? I mean, you said Pennsylvania really didn't have any laws. Were you fighting the politicians there?
Yeah, I actually was fighting the politicians.